have you sort of managed your answers for how you're going to deal with stuff like, do you agree with Bobby on controversial issues like ending the war, certain medical matters that I won't mention while we're on YouTube? How are you dealing with it, Cheryl?
Well, I like to just take it as it comes. I like to be honest about my feelings and my thoughts, and we really do align on everything. The way the information gets out sometimes is not how I would do it. So, so that's where it gets a little, I have to take a moment and take it minute by minute, day by day.
Ask her if it's easier being married to me or Larry David.
Which one of these two curmudgeons is easier to manage?
Oh boy, I'm not going to answer that. That's apples and oranges. And right now, sitting next to oranges. Yes.
Is it true that Bobby said that he would understand if it would be easier to end the marriage now that he was entering into the fray of politics, or is that a sort of a misquotation?
Oh, well, I don't know if he said it would be easier to end the marriage. I think I'm going to speak for him, even though he's sitting next to me. I think he feels sometimes the scrutiny that I get just from being married to him. So, which is odd, but so sometimes he'll say, what if we take a step back from each other so people don't come at you, meaning me, but that's not the answer. But it's sort of a sweet thought.
In answer to your question, I would not be running if Cheryl didn't greenlight it. It wouldn't work for me, and it wouldn't work for my family, and her. And I think I'm going to be much better at what I do. And ultimately, when people get to know Cheryl, that I think that will, that will actually boost my campaign a lot. I think people want to have a very funny first lady.
I get the sense that you have perhaps taken on board a different understanding of spiritual practices, perhaps due to your relationship with Cheryl. This is just something that I intuitively believe because I'm the kind of man who wears open kimonos to deal with serious political figures. Am I right, Cheryl, that spirituality is a significant part of your life, and has it become a significant part of your marriage?
Yes, definitely. Because a lot of it, all of it, you can't control, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And the idea of being peaceful, if you can, with the unknown, I do think it's a practice. I do think you have to wake up every day and say, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be okay. We're going to figure it out. We're going to live in the moment and be truthful and go to the next moment.
I think this is a hugely important time for not just American politics, but potentially global politics, precisely because, as I've just mentioned, that it seems that there is a march towards greater authoritarianism at a time where there is a lot of divisiveness, where America in particular needs healing, where we're confronted with ecological, cultural, economical crisis, kind of a polycrisis culture, a time almost of despair where the apocalypse is almost being built into our cultural myth. There's a kind of real lack of optimism. That's why I'm very keen that this conversation becomes, if not an interrogation, at least a serious conversation about some of the commitments to make meaningful changes in the areas of reviewing how big pharma functions, how the military-industrial complex functions, how the media functions, and perhaps most importantly of all, how politics is funded in particular, and specifically getting money out of politics, the practice of people in Congress regulating corporations that they own shares in, taking donations from companies that are already able to assert too much influence over the political process. But I have already, to a degree, committed to help raise funds for your campaign, Bobby, through a pull-up challenge, which is seeming increasingly ill-advised, because I've now seen you with your top off doing push-ups, and you look hench, you look stacked, you look jacked. I can't believe you've not done that without some kind of pharmaceutical support. There's some incredible upper body strength there. But nevertheless, a pull-up challenge has been agreed to. I'll just may as well reveal now that the process we're well underway. I think that it's going to be a significant battle. Cheryl, are you going to be donating? Because I think what we've said is we've got to raise $100,000 in order for this campaign to go ahead. Now, after this conversation's not going to be frivolous anymore, he said with his top off. It's going to be a serious conversation about politics, more than you would ever get on CNN or Fox or MSNBC or any other mainstream outlet. Are you personally going to be donating to this campaign, or are spouses not allowed to?
I hope she's already maxed out.
Well, I want to see how many pull-ups you guys do first. I mean, maybe I'll say what, $100. How many pull-ups can you do before?
Listen, I'm not willing to reveal that kind of data prior to the competition, but I'm telling you now that I'm training to win, and I'm willing to juice to get there. I'm willing to take hormone replacement therapy. I've been eating estrogen all morning long. I don't know what I'm going to do about these guys. I've been breastfeeding all morning. I'm taking it pretty seriously.
Does estrogen actually help you do pull-ups?
I don't know. I feel quite tearful, and my children are confused.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this. I can tell you this, Russell. This is what you have to deal with, because he really works out every day. He hikes. He goes to the gym. I mean, his self-discipline is off the charts, and it looks like yours is too. So I don't know if you can in one day, if you beef up on your estrogen, if that's going to help you or not, because this has been decades of preparation. But I wish you the best. But
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Russell. I'm going to spot you 10 pull-ups.
Oh.
Spot me then? What do you mean by that? That you're going to give me a 10 pull-up sort of grace?
But you and I should do like a side bet, where you have to come over here and come to 3 of my campaign stops if you lose. And if I lose, I'll come over there, because you asked me one time to come to speak at an environmental thing. Oh, if I lose, I'll come over and talk at your thing.
All right.
And you come over and go on a little tour across New Hampshire with me, and maybe Iowa.
I'll do those. I'll do those flyover states, damn it. I'll turn up in. I'm joking. I love all of America. I respect all of America, particularly non-coastal America, the true America, Kerouac's America. So I'll absolutely. So the challenge is we can raise $100,000. If we can raise $100,000 worth of donations for Bobby's campaign, then we'll do this pull-up challenge. And if I lose, you could say when I lose, I'll appear at some of Bobby's events, campaigning events, in order to support him further.
Stay free with Russell Brand. See it first on Rumble.